even if I touch a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need the pain. And life won't get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHDRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, somehow, some way we did it. By an act of Congress, it's a presidential election, gas prices is going up, apparently democracy is on the brink of extinction, and this country's going to shit, and somehow, some way, we got Mr. Mitchell Evans on the pod.
We need a sound Finest.
We need like buttons?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we get applause and boos and shit like that.
There you go.
YouTube doesn't count.
You say YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube doesn't count.
What do you mean?
Has anybody created like a podcasting platform with video and like controls and all that shit?
Yeah. I mean, like all the big time people have a setup.
Yeah, but I'm saying like a remote, like we can do this except that we get more options and it's like specific for podcasting.
Oh, so like if like a Zoom made for podcasting and there's automatic built-in buttons for sound.
Exactly.
And stuff?
Yeah, and like shit that you want to do, you know.
I don't know. Maybe we should start a business venture.
You know, do that.
No, not that I know of. I was listening to one of these podcasts, and they were saying how a lot of like the people that have money or like big time people, you know, they have like somebody that produces the pod, right? Because they have cameras and stuff. To where not a lot, but like some people are starting to fire their producers, and they're just doing it all on AI. They just upload the clip into this AI software, and it edits and clips, and it switches the camera angles automatically based on like based on who's talking. It does all that automatically.
No shit.
So he's able to save like, 80-90K a year by just uploading it into the software. I'm not sure what software it is, but
you making 80-90K a year, Finest?
No.
You making 80-90K off the Guardians of the 615?
I am not.
I ain't seen a penny of that shit.
We're not making shit right now. But, that's fine. That's fine. We gotta get monetized, which is gonna take us on the pace we're going, maybe 40 years. But it's fine.
You think we're gonna be grandpas doing this fucking podcast?
How
long have I been on this podcast? Did I start in 2020?
We started in 2021.
Huh.
And I know, you didn't come on too much longer after we started, maybe like a month or two later.
Yeah, I remember because I told Calvin to get me on there. And then, to be honest with you, I just wanted to come in as a guest. And then you put new host in there. And then all of a sudden, I just kept coming back.
Well, Calvin told me you wanted to be a host. I told Calvin we need to find somebody to add on as a host. And so I guess the miscommunication was there. Because I was under the impression that whoever he asked, he was asking to be a host, not a guest.
Yeah. Did not know that.
Yeah, because me and Calvin, we didn't really disagree on too much. So we're like, bro, we need a third person that's like goes against the grain.
Bro, but Calvin ain't gonna disagree. Well, no, let me get that. Let me change that. Calvin will disagree, but he ain't gonna fight to the death on his argument like you will.
Oh yeah, of course.
Calvin get 2 sentences into the argument and be like, man, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
I haven't been listening. You and Mark been getting into it on here?
Um, Not really, because we haven't done we haven't done one in like 2 or 3 weeks.
I've
I
been
know, like,
off. I've been off for like 6 months.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I think there was a couple of sports takes we disagreed on. I don't, once we, it's unscripted. So once we go through the rant after that, I just forget what we talked about. But yeah, it's been because I know last week nobody could get on, and then 2 weeks ago nobody could get on. So, and then I got the WNBA, the NFL one started up, and then I'll be starting the NBA one again here in like a month. So
Caitlin Clark won Rookie of the Year there, Finest.
she did. I called it. I mean, anybody that actually watches the WNBA knows that she was going to be unanimous. Well, not I don't think she was unanimous, but she was going to be MVP.
Mm-hmm.
No questions.
Well, look what the cat drug in.
Marky Mark.
I'm here.
Why are you in your truck, Mark?
A little hectic inside, so need a little peace and quiet
Is it electric?
for the pod. A little hectic. Just a little hectic.
You sitting with the truck on or off?
Off. I'm a psycho.
Ooh. Can't be me.
That's fine. I did that once.
No, it's not too hot. Look, man, I did this all summer. This is how I would hit a sauna sesh, Finest. I'd get home from work. I put on my little sweatsuit, my little garbage bag sweatsuit, basically. Come out, sit in my truck for about 30, 35 minutes, and just melt.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
It
was at first. It was at first, but I got used to it, so it wasn't too bad. I actually felt great after I did it. Sweat out about 3-4 pounds, in 30 minutes. Whatevs. Just nothing but water.
Mark, I'd like to ask a favor of you.
Oh God.
I want you to explain to find us how Vanderbilt and Missouri have the same talent, the same level of talent.
I thought they were equally talented because there was no pull. It was just a back and forth game, straight up. Line of scrimmage game. Outside, just a bunch of the margins, man. That's all that game came down to. And if you look at the actual probability factor at the end of the game, the little ESPN probability factor, it actually gave Vanderbilt the 51% chance to win the game compared to Missouri's 49.
How does that equate?
Just a hard-fought, tough football game, man.
How does that equate to talent, though? Because you said that means that Missouri and Vanderbilt are equally talented.
Because I think teams that play each other tight are usually equally in talent.
No, not at all.
I can guarantee you this. Yes, because I can guarantee you this. This Saturday, not only am I going to take Alabama to win outright, I'm going to take Alabama with the 23. They're favored by 23 points. I guarantee you Vanderbilt loses that game by 28 points. Easy.
Right.
Easy.
But yes, but that doesn't necessarily make your argument right because you can have Missouri more talented than Vandy and Bama be more talented than Missouri. So still hold true either argument. Because we can all sit here and agree that Alabama is far more talented than Missouri, even if we agree or disagree whether Missouri's more talented or as equally talented as Vanderbilt, we can still agree there's tiers to more talented. Because here's my thing. The Alabama South Florida game. Take away the fourth quarter. Let's look at the first 3 quarters. There's no way on God's green earth you're looking at that game. Hard fought. evenly matched. Again, ignoring the fourth quarter, just looking at those three. There's no way on God's green earth you're sitting there saying
I can't ignore the fourth quarter because
wait,
the
no,
fourth quarter happened.
but let me get there. I'm just saying ignore right now. I'm gonna bring in the full game. There's no way you can sit there and say that South Florida is just as talented as Alabama. No, you're watching that game saying Alabama's bullshitting. They're shooting themselves in the foot. South Florida's giving phenomenal effort, and they're being coached well. Nothing
But
to
then
do
what?
with talent.
But then what happened?
No, again, nothing to do with talent. Now, yes, because Alabama's far more talented, they figured it out in the fourth, but they figured it out in the fourth. Just
They
like
scored
Missouri
28
figured it out in
unanswered
overtime.
points in the fourth quarter.
No, exactly. But that's my point. Okay, I agree. But we're saying that
and they stopped bullshitting around. They were bullshitting around.
Again, just like Missouri was Saturday, they were
Missouri
bullshitting. We have
they didn't separate. Did not separate at all. Did not separate at all.
But they won the game.
So Missouri
won the game.
That's the difference, right? That's the difference.
But
great teams who are more talented than the other teams separate. 90% of the time.
Not all the time.
90% of the time they separate.
Well, 90%. We're talking about the 10% with Missouri and Vanderbilt.
Watch this. I'll even go this far. Vanderbilt will play good for one half. They'll play Bama tight for one half. And that second half, Bama will go on an onslaught.
Vandy's not beating Boston College.
What?
Vandy's not beating Boston College.
You're on crack. You're crazy.
Vandy's not beating Boston College. Vandy's not beating
That's a wild statement.
How's that wild? Boston College is top 25.
No, they're not.
They were.
They're not anymore.
If Vandy played Boston College,
they would beat Boston College
at the same level that Missouri
they'd beat Boston College.
No, they don't. Y'all couldn't beat Georgia State.
I don't even go as far as to say not only would they beat
Georgia
College,
State.
Vanderbilt would beat more than half the ACC. Half.
No. Vanderbilt couldn't beat half the SEC.
Yes, because Vanderbilt beat Virginia Tech, who was supposed to be the creme de la creme of that conference.
But they're not, though.
Don't matter.
It does matter. It's about what they are this year, not what they're supposed to be. Virginia Tech's not good. Boston College is better.
Virginia Tech is also probably better than Boston.
They're not, though. Not this year. They're supposed
to
be.
Why do you say that? How do you know?
They're supposed to be, but they're not.
Vanderbilt would beat Boston College easily. No. 10 points.
No, you couldn't beat Georgia State. You couldn't be a FCS school.
Vanderbilt would beat Boston College.
No. Oh, no, not even close.
Yes, Vanderbilt plays up and down in their competition. They've done it for 100 years.
Regardless of where they play their competition, that doesn't make them more. That's okay. You literally just argued against yourself. If Vanderbilt plays for their competition, then that means that their talent is not determining their gameplay. Because you can't play to your competition and play against a shitty FCS team and then play against the SEC team and say that the talent level is the same for both teams. You can't do that.
Hold on. Just because they play up and down in their competition doesn't mean the years that they were very untalented, which is a lot of their history, does not, come on.
No,
there have been years where Vanderbilt had no talent. Last year, they went 2-10.
We can't even hear you.
0.
Bro.
And they played up and down in their competition.
Bro, Mark, all I'm saying is, Vanderbilt's more talent they have been in the past. They are not on. If you look at talent, receivers, we have a first round receiver. Our receiving core is far superior than Vanderbilt's. Our defensive line is far superior than Vanderbilt's. Talent wise, are y'all being coached very well? Yes. Are y'all dogs in the effort in the mid? Yes. Talent wise, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro.
You have one outstanding receiver. Yes, correct.
No, we have more than one. Don't do that.
And Vanderbilt
is 182nd
because they got a lot of transfers in.
182nd in passing offense. 182nd. Interesting. Let's see what Missouri.
Vanderbilt throwing the ball? Vanderbilt,
No, but
that's
we're
because
talking about
Vanderbilt's a
receivers.
run-based offense.
We're 51st in passing.
I never
'Cause we
argued
got
that.
better
I never
talent.
said that Vanderbilt had better receivers. That was never the argument.
That talent. That's what. Bro, if you're saying a team has better receivers,
just because Luther Burden is on Missouri and Vanderbilt doesn't have a Luther Burden, doesn't mean they're that much more talented. You're talking about one player. One.
no, you're only
you
thinking of one player.
I would
You're
take
thinking of
Vanderbilt's
one player.
quarterback. I would take Vanderbilt's quarterback over Missouri's quarterback.
You're thinking of one
Brady
receiver.
Cook's more talented than Diego Pavia?
No, you're thinking of one receiver. Luther Burden isn't even.
One guy here, one guy there. Is Diego Pavia more talented than Brady Cook?
Mark,
he had a better game than Brady Cook.
Listen to me. Go. You want to talk about? You want to talk about
game?
Hey, you want to talk about receiving core? You name Luther Burden. He's not even the leading receiver for the fucking Tigers, bro. That's my point.
He's the best receiver on your team. He's
not the leading receiver,
he's your best
though.
player, and you know he is.
No, he is.
Who?
But
that's
Mark,
fine. Fine. Who
Mark.
made the catch? Who made the catch in overtime? Who ran that route and made that catch?
Of course, yes.
The sent the double overtime.
No, I
Luther
understand.
Burden. So when the game's on the line and it's game time, are they not going to Luther Burden?
I understand that, but my point is not that Luther Burden. Mark, let me talk for a second. My point isn't that Luther Burden's not good. My point is you're talking about you only got one guy, and you're naming Luther Burden, who is a dog. He's not the leading receiver. He's not the only one making plays. Therefore, I'm saying we have more talented receivers.
One in that game.
Bro, I'm talking about the team.
He was the only one in that
game.
I'm
talking about the team. I'm not talking about one. I'm not talking about one fucking game. I'm talking about this Missouri Tigers team. Our receivers, bro, Mark. The argument is not about the individual game. The argument was you're saying based on this game, Vanderbilt is just as talented as Missouri.
I don't think there's much of a talent gap. Because you don't go to double overtime like that. I don't think there's much of a talent gap.
Listen.
No.
All I'm saying
and I'm going to stick to that.
I don't care. Listen, all I'm saying is this one game, look at Missouri Tigers as a team from the first week to now. They are not just as talented as Missouri, as Vanderbilt. Did Vanderbilt have a good game? Yes, they played their A game against Missouri. Missouri played their B game. So every now and then shit like that happens. Every dog has its day. But that doesn't mean
they didn't turn the ball over one time. This wasn't a game where Missouri dropped the ball on the ground 3 times or Brady Cook threw 3 picks and it kept Vanderbilt around. None of that happened. None.
Yes, they had a lot of drops. Yes, so Missouri did not play their A game. They did not. They played their A game. They win by 3 scores. Missouri did not play well at all against Vanderbilt and still won, is my point, because they're more talented. If Missouri plays their A game, there's no Mark. I am a Vanderbilt fan.
To be fair,
Vanderbilt didn't play
their A game.
No.
To be fair,
you said what?
Vanderbilt didn't play their A game. To be fair, we're going to do that.
That's the best game they played all season.
Missouri did not turn the ball over one time.
Against the FBS
You're going to sit there and say, they didn't play this. They didn't keep Vanderbilt in the game. Vanderbilt stayed in the game because Vanderbilt stayed in the game.
No, Vanderbilt stayed in the game
because Missouri played bad. Was bullshitting on defense. Coach bad. Wasn't even close.
Missouri was bullshitting. That's not the best game.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The year before that, they beat Vanderbilt by 3 fucking touchdowns. Easily.
I'm not talking about the year before. I'm talking about this year.
With ease.
I don't give a shit about the year before. I don't give a shit about the year before. That's irrelevant.
Easily finest. They beat Vanderbilt by 3 fucking scores last year.
Mitch, we're talking about We're talking about a team that is fucking 2-2, that is unranked in the SEC versus a team that is unfucking defeated, 4-0, ranked 9th in the AP top 25. And we're sitting here arguing that the fucking unranked team is just as talented as the number 9 team in the fucking country.
Yeah, because
you're out of your goddamn mind if you believe that. You're out of your fucking mind, Mark.
Stop looking at the record.
You've lost your shit,
Vanderbilt
bro.
is 2 fucking plays away from being 4-0. So it's
They're
on
not.
margins.
They're not.
It's on
That
margins,
Georgia
Finis.
State game was a disgrace
Really?
to the SEC.
Really?
That Georgia State game was an absolute fucking
They're
disgrace.
2 plays away.
No, y'all were a
2
whole
plays
game away
from being 4-0. 2 plays.
Absolutely not.
You stop Georgia State instead of letting them throw a bomb
They
to
did
win
it.
the game. You win that game.
Bro, y'all
if you
bullshit
don't
that
let
whole
Luther Burden
fucking game.
run by you, you win the game. Oh, and in the second overtime, you stop Missouri. They kick a field goal. So if you don't get the offensive PI, who knows?
Hey, Mitch.
Or you don't get a holding call. You don't get a holding call. First and goal in the second overtime from the 5.
Mitch.
Who knows?
Hey, Mitch. You want to know who has the top 10 defense? Guess who has the top 10 defense? Missouri. We're 8th. Guess what Vanderbilt's defense is ranked? And this is as of this week. As of this week, Vanderbilt's defense is 107th. Same level of talent. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on, Mark.
Double overtime.
Bro, y'all played y'all's best game.
And a missed
Missouri
field
was
goal. A missed field goal away from going to triple overtime.
Missouri was off.
Vanderbilt is 2 plays away from being 4-0 right now. 2.
Hey, Missouri had an off game. Had an off game. They had an off game. It happens. Nobody plays their best game every game.
Y'all so you didn't play. Did they not play their timeout? So they didn't play their best game against Boston College.
No, that wasn't their best game. No, it was a better game than what they played against Randy.
So they got a history here of playing their B+ game every week.
No, it wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't their best. No. I mean, their first game of the season, they scored 51 points.
How bad is Missouri beat Texas A&M Saturday? We'll find out a lot here.
We'll just
put a score on it.
We'll just see.
Put a score on it, Finis.
We'll see.
Put a score on it.
We'll see. Why do I have to put a score on it? If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. Why does it matter?
Texas A&M lost to Notre Dame and lost to Northern Illinois. Put a score on it. Texas A&M's not that good. Missouri should be more talented, right?
We'll see.
If Missouri plays their A game, do they beat Texas A&M handily?
Yes. They play their A game, they beat Texas A&M. Easily.
Handily. I said handily.
But they beat them.
They beat them, but not handily.
They beat them. They beat them. A game, they beat them.
But not handily. Not by 2 scores.
You said because you said A&M?
So if they play their B game like they've done all year, they lose?
Well, again, let me remind you, A&M's top 25. They're not a pushover
Barely.
team. They're top 25.
I mean,
they're 25th in the country. So let's not act
dude,
like
a lot
A&M.
Of people, that don't mean shit to me. Iowa was ranked in the top 25 last year. Did you watch Iowa play football? That shit's
yeah. They played pretty good goddamn football. They did. They're top 25.
Iowa, yeah.
They did.
Right.
They did.
Iowa.
Yes.
Iowa, yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, what are we talking about? You bring up shit that doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, being ranked in the top 25 doesn't have the same meaning. Now, if you're a top 12 team.
No. Yeah. I got to stop you there. A&M is 4-1. Don't do that. They're 4-1. They're top 25. So it's not like if A&M was 0-4 or 0-5 and we were going into and they were unranked their last in the SEC, you got a point. They're not a pushover team. They are 4-1. They've only lost 1 game. They are a top team in the country. So if Missouri doesn't bring their A game, I tell you this: if Missouri plays like they did against Vanderbilt, A&M washes them because A&M is more talented than Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt plays like they did, if Missouri plays like they did against Vanderbilt, Missouri will lose because A&M is more talented. But if Missouri brings their A game and A&M brings their A game, Missouri will win.
By the way,
they are a more talented team.
By the way, since he wanted to start this fight between us, remember, this is the same guy who says talent doesn't win games, but you just told me that if A&M, because they're more talented than Missouri, if Missouri doesn't, no. If Missouri doesn't play their A game, they lose to Texas A&M.
No. Nobody.
Oh, no.
Hey. I haven't talked in like 20 minutes. Nobody is saying talent doesn't.
You started a disagreement.
20. I haven't talked in 20 minutes, Mark. Nobody is saying that talent doesn't win games. What we are saying is talent doesn't equal wins. There is
Yes,
more.
It does.
You're simplifying an equation that's far more complex than that.
Because
listen,
how many? Okay, time out. In a scheme of a season, okay. Let me ask y'all this: in a scheme of a season, how many games do you think good coaching equates to? How many wins? Maybe how many extra wins in a season could good coaching get you? Like a really good coach game. We're talking a great game coached.
Like within the same conference?
They make all the right decisions. Doesn't matter. Just how many more games can
it does matter. Are we talking like
a really good coach game get you?
Are we talking about against Power 5, against Group of 5? Because if you're a Group of 5 team, it don't matter.
Any level, minus. This goes for any level.
You're missing my point. This is what we're trying to say. It's far more complicated than that.
All right, we'll go Power 5. Power 5.
You can't simplify it like that.
I don't.
You can't.
Well, I'm asking a question here because if talent doesn't equate to wins, how many extra wins in a season does a good coaching job get you?
We're not saying coaching does either.
It's 100 different things equates to wins.
That's what we're saying. It's more than just talent.
And my point was, I didn't disagree with that. My point was that talent overall is the bigger percentage in that equation.
I think consistency is.
But to be consistent, you've got to have good talent, usually.
I think chemistry is. You can have the number one wide receiver and the number one quarterback all day, but if the number one quarterback goes and fucks the number one wide receiver's girlfriend, they ain't going to be playing well on Saturday.
Okay. And you're speaking in hypothetical. That's like friend that Alabama's just going to go in the shit.
It's not a hypothetical. That's just saying you got to like each other.
But that's what you're equating it to.
He's just using
Jalen Milroe goes
he's using an
example,
Mark. He's
girlfriend,
using an example.
And then Alabama's season's going to fall apart.
He's just using it. No, he's using an example of why chemistry is important. He's not.
I've never said it wasn't. You definitely have to have chemistry amongst team members to have a good season and be a very good team. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying in the equation, the biggest part, though, the biggest chunk is talent. No one recruit. Look, okay, since Variable's not as talented, right?
This has never happened.
You're the host now, though. It's your show.
Oh, he came back and stole it.
Mitchell's the host now. This is IV Talks brought to you by Mitchell Evans.
You become the host?
Yeah.
Bro, switch over. I don't know. My shit was bugging, bro.
He is the host. It's his podcast now.
Well, I'm saying switch it because I don't know if the recording. All right, never mind. It's still recording. We're good.
Yeah, that was weird. That's never happened. You just lose power for like 3 seconds.
I don't know what. Well, I got a phone call and then it like tripped out. Anyway, go ahead.
No, what I'm saying, I don't disagree with any of that. You have to have that. That's all part of a winning formula. I'm just saying talent is the bigger chunk of that.
No,
usually,
that's not what you're saying.
Usually,
what you're saying,
okay, so
you say talent equals wins. That's what you said.
It does.
I see,
but it does.
That's where
I mean,
it does not equal. Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't.
I think it does. I think
each other and it's garbage. You have all the talent in the world and have Butch Jones as your coach. Garbage. What are we talking about?
Your talent could be overrated too, to be honest. Some points.
What we're saying, talent.
Some guys. I mean, you got to take stuff with a grain of salt. Some guys in high school are Tarzan, and then they get to college and they play like Jane because in high school they were playing against little boys compared to grown men. I mean, that happens, and you see it in the NFL too. That's why you have more busts in the NFL than guys that are Hall of Famers, right?
All we're saying, Mark, is that there is no way that just because two teams goes to double overtime that means that they are equal in talent.
Well, I believe that, and you're not gonna pull me out. It's just the fact of It's one thing if you go to one. They went to two. So it was neck and neck the whole game. There was no separation either or. I'm not saying Vanderbilt's more talented than Missouri and Vanderbilt should have won that game. Hell no, I never said that.
You're saying they're equal.
But Mizzou.
You're saying they're equal in talent.
Okay, because Vegas had Missouri as a 20.5-point fucking favorite. That game wasn't even close. Not even close to that. And at some points, you can look at the game and say, shit, Vanderbilt probably should have won the game right there. Maybe if Buddy makes his kick with 3 minutes left, Vanderbilt wins the fucking game. You don't know. So what's the conversation? If the roles reverse, let's say Buddy hits the kick, Vanderbilt stops Missouri. Then what?
Mizzou had a shit game.
No. They didn't turn the ball over, man. It's not like they went out there and laid an egg. They played fine.
No, they didn't. They didn't, though. I've watched every Missouri game this year. That was the worst they've played this entire season.
Even worse than Boston College?
Yes.
I mean, if you really photocopy each game, Boston College and Vanderbilt were a photocopy of each other.
They're not.
You gave up a bomb to Boston College. Vanderbilt threw a bomb on their first offensive play.
Mark, just because a team, you don't know if a team beats another team, that doesn't make them more talented, right? Like if Vanderbilt had one, that doesn't make Vanderbilt more talented. They played a better game that day. There's a difference.
But in order to play a better game and a good game, you have to be what?
No, you don't. There's been plenty of teams that are not as talented.
Come on.
If
that was the case, come on. Vanderbilt, prime example.
One game? No. Now, if it was a series of 7, generally the more talented wins. Generally, I would agree there.
Yes.
One game, it is possible for a less talented team to win one game over a more talented team. It is possible for that to happen.
But here's the thing.
It's possible.
Most of the time, listen, when upsets and shit like that happen,
hell yeah.
Most of the time, they fumble the ball, they throw a pick, they muff a couple punts, they do this. None of that happened. It was a pretty clean. It was a very clean game.
It wasn't though.
They commit a lot of penalties. I'm just saying, the majority of the time, when that's the shit that happens.
All right, Mitch.
All right, I'll be seeing you.
Well, I hope it doesn't crash when you leave.
He's gonna end it.
Oh no,
who's the host?
I mean, I guess I am. It probably gave it back when.
No, it did because it didn't do anything to me. Where's Calvin? He's missing the fun.
Oh, he said he was going to be on.
My point was with the talent and majority of the time, the higher percentage, I'm not saying that shit doesn't go into winning games, especially in the sport of football. It definitely does, chemistry, all that. Like, I don't luck. Sometimes luck's involved. A lot of the time luck's involved. You got to be more lucky than great to win a championship sometimes. My point was usually talent is a bigger chunk and usually is what causes separation. Like the South Florida Bama game. Bama, you're right. They were bullshitting. Bullshit. It wasn't anything their coach did different from quarter 1 to quarter 4, right? He didn't change a damn thing. They were just bullshit. But what the fuck happened? Their talent finally took the fuck over. They stopped bullshitting and they 28 unanswered.
Well, but my thing is, so I don't care about the statement about talent. My point is, even if Bama never pulled away and they barely won, they still a more talented team. South Florida.
That's fair.
That's all I'm saying about the Mizzou and Vanderbilt game. It's the same shit. Even if Bama never pulled away, they're a more talented team.
I watched. From what I watched.
Mark, you're covering your mic. Or the speaker.
Sorry. From what I watched, I just thought they were neck and neck. with Missouri.
No, they were that game.
I mean, Missouri's probably a little more talented, yes.
But
I didn't think by much.
They're so far more talented. That's why they're top 10 in the country.
Considering
you don't get top 10 in the country on accident. You don't. You might be 25th.
They were preseason. They were preseason top 10.
No, they're top 10 now. Top 10. They're top 10 now. Week 5, they're top 10.
I understand that, but
that's not by accident. That's not by accident.
But okay, if you're going by that, okay. Besides Vanderbilt, Boston College, who have they played and beaten? Buffalo, and who else?
Whatchamacallit? It was the non-conference.
So if you're going to say, these teams are not as talented in Missouri, that you can have that.
Yes,
and I can have my opinion that I think Vanderbilt's not as the talent gap's not as far as you think it is.
Well, no, you can't have that though, because I have things I can point to.
I mean, I saw them play Vanderbilt last year and beat Missouri beat Vanderbilt with ease.
I don't care about that. I don't care about last year though. I don't care about last year.
I'm just saying with ease.
It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. I don't want to talk about anything that's irrelevant.
It's the same players from last year.
No, it's not. Completely
different
players. No.
Johnny Walker, Luther Burden, Brady Cook.
We lost our best cornerback. I don't care about last year. Just because you have the same team last year. Just because you have the same team last year or the majority of the same team doesn't equate to winning this year. It doesn't. That's just.
But what my point is
irrelevant.
Listen, Vanderbilt has 53 new players though.
That's great.
It's a completely different talent level of team,
and I don't care.
So it's not as far away as you think it is.
It is though.
It's just not.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Prime example: Vanderbilt's quarterback,
oh my
right?
God.
Came from Mexico State.
You said what?
He beat the shit out of Auburn last year.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's not. They're more talented at quarterback than they were the year before.
No,
they're
you're
more
right.
talented on defense than they were the year before. Way more talented.
I said that they're a more talented team than they have been, but there's still a decent gap between Vanderbilt and Missouri.
And like I tried to say earlier,
top 10 defense.
If you look, there's a I gotta find it and I gotta send in the group. Their 2 losses. I will give you Georgia State is bad, and they just sleptwalked their way through that game, and then they finally woke up and they started dominating.
Do you think Georgia State's more talented than Vanderbilt?
No, but I do think Georgia State is
not even close though, right?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they're not even close. I would say
now you have to though.
I would
you have
say
to
they're more talented.
But for your argument, you'd have to say they're more talented than Georgia State. Because if you want to compare Georgia State to Missouri,
I never said Vanderbilt was more talented than Missouri. That never came out of my mouth.
No, that's not my point.
I said they were probably equally talented, and I could say maybe Georgia State was, maybe they got some guys that are, whatever.
Mark, I know you're saying they're equally talented. What I'm saying is, if you think if Vanderbilt's equally talented to Missouri, and you think Georgia State is not that far of a shot talent-wise from Vanderbilt, you're saying by your argument, Missouri's not that far off talented-wise from Georgia State, if that's your argument. What I'm saying is, the only way your argument works is if you admit there's a giant gap or a decent gap between Georgia State and Vanderbilt, because if you don't, to say that Georgia State is close in talent to Missouri is absolutely absurd. Anybody that watches college football would say that's absolutely absurd. You're talking about a top 10 team in college ball. Will they stay there? I don't know, but right now they are 9th in the country, and they play another top 25 team this week. So again, if they win that, at some point you got to start giving them respect and talent. And then what problem with this argument that you brought up? If you put yourself in a lose-lose with your argument. So now let's say you say, because I asked, if Georgia State had beaten you, would you have said that they're more talented? Either answer you say will go against your argument. If you say yes, then I would. If you say yes, that's the problem. Georgia State is not even close and talented to Missouri. If you say no, that's my point. Even if a team beats you in one game, we're talking about one game. If a team beats you, doesn't mean that you're close in talent. It does not mean that. Okay. It means Georgia State Georgia State played better than you that game. That doesn't.
They played their A+ game. They played their A+ game
That just like
that day. There's no
one more
question about it.
Would you say James Madison is just as talented as North Carolina? No.
To be fair,
No.
you're not gonna like my answer. You're not gonna like my answer. You're not gonna like my answer.
We're arguing for no reason.
In recent times, I mean, remember
what does that
James
mean?
Madison.
What does that mean? I'm talking
James
about
Madison
this
was a
season.
one-loss team
I'm talking about
last
this
year.
season. I'm talking about this season.
Well, I mean, they were a one-loss team last year and returned a lot of guys. Now the head coach
FCS, but it's an FCS team though. It's an FCS team, right? They're
It's a group of 5 team.
Okay, whatever.
Group of 5.
Mid-major. Would you
They're
say
FBS,
that they're
division one?
Mid-major? Mid-major just means power group of 5. It's another name for group of 5. Would you, regardless?
But still, it's still yeah.
No, mid-major. Would you sit here and say this year James Madison is more talented than North Carolina?
I mean, they beat the fuck out of them.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, they beat them. I mean, they put 70 points on them.
They did, right? But if you put James Madison, James Madison's not more talented than North Carolina. North Carolina shit themselves.
I mean, I think you got to say they are after what they did to them.
No, North Carolina shit the bed.
It's a team. But that team lost 1 game last year.
I don't care about last year. Stop bringing up last year. What I'm talking about.
I'm just saying they got a lot of talent. They got talent.
I'll give a shit about last year. What I'm saying is this is a prime example of just because you're more talented. I would take
James Madison, yes.
Just because you're more talented, they're not. Just because you're more talented doesn't mean you're gonna beat teams that are less talented. That's the prime example. I think now again, being a better team and being more talented are still not the same. Still not the same. James Madison might be a better team than North Carolina. They're not as talented. There's a difference between being better and being more talented. I've been on a I've been on an SC team where we had probably the most talented team in the conference, but we did not win the SEC championship. And I mean talent, we had stupid talent. I'm telling you.
You think no, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm really not.
I'm letting you know.
At the time you were at Missouri.
I'm telling you, the time I had been there.
At the time when you were at Missouri, you think your all's roster was more talented than Alabama, LSU, Georgia?
No. Listen, I'm telling. Well, at the time we were in conference, we had divisions, East and West. We had.
So you're saying in the time it was the Eastern Division.
We were talent wise top 2.
Okay, that's better. That's
what I'm saying. Talent wise,
I'm not going to fight you on that because
top 2 or 3 in the SECs. Top 2. But
okay, well that's better. That's better than saying
we didn't finish there though.
Conference.
Well, regardless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My point is we were far more talented than where we ended up, is my point. Talent-wise, we should have been 2, 3rd. We should have been competing for the SEC championship game out of the East, talent-wise. But we didn't because we just weren't better, even though we had all the talent in the world, which came down to chemistry, guys bullshitting off the field, coaching. Like there's so much other shit.
I would wager you that Georgia, Tennessee, Florida were probably more talented at that time.
No, not that much more talented. But that's Mark.
Florida, Georgia, Tennessee?
Mark, I played against these fuckers. I'm telling you, they weren't that much more talented. We're watching these dudes like, bro, they're not that much talented than us. The difference
Georgia?
Mark, Georgia has only been this good in recent years. They weren't winning.
No, they've been national championship good, yes, but they still were having top 5 recruiting classes year in, year out, even before they went on their the playoff and national championship run. I mean, they were still recruiting at a high clip. Same with Florida. They were constantly having top 10 recruiting classes. Even Mitchell brought up Butch Jones. Butch Jones was signing top 5 recruiting classes.
I don't care about recruiting classes. That's all politics. I really don't care about that. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about when the season ended. Where did the chips fall when the season ended? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're playing against these fuckers and we all know we are just as talented as these niggas. But again,
I never said Missouri wasn't talented, by the way.
The difference is what I'm saying, and why it seemed like it is because of coaching, their chemistry, like all of it. We had so many guys bullshitting off the field that was messing up there. I'm saying like there's so much more shit to it than talent, is what we're all saying. And Missouri is far more talented than Vanderbilt.
You had to throw that in there.
I'm just saying, bro, it's facts. Like, you don't be top 10 on accident, bro.
Are we gonna talk about my titties and your titties?
I mean, we can. I mean, are we gonna count? Are we gonna count this win? It's against a third string quarterback.
Well, to be fair, our second string quarterback. Let's be fair here. I know he was, but our first string quarterback was playing worse than their third string quarterback at the time, and our second string quarterback came in for our injured first string, and that's when the Titans separated. See, that's not the issue. Is not them playing the third string quarterback by us. The issue is that they couldn't separate from this third string led quarterback team until their second string quarterback came into the game. That's the problem. That's a huge problem.
You talking about for Miami or for Titans?
Titans. For the Titans for sure. Your top guy, he was a second round pick, right? But what did I say on the pod? Was it 2-3 weeks ago? What did I say? What did I say before the season started? My two words.
He wasn't it.
That was one, and then the offensive line, which that's came true as well. I did say, what did I say about their defense? I said they'd be very good. And what did I also say? Their secondary would be very good. And what happened? Number one defense in the NFL, number one against the pass.
Yes, that is true. We do have number one defense, and it's going to mean absolutely nothing.
Correct. And so basically, what I sent the group today, if you had mediocre to good, I mean, you got to have some good quarterback play, right? You're going to have to, right? It's the NFL, right? If this team had just average quarterback play and protected the football, I had to give him credit now, Ryan Tannehill, this team would be a playoff team. Easy.
We're honestly just a worse version of the Dallas Cowboys, offensively.
Maybe even 2 times worse than that. Because at least the Cowboys with Dak, we know Dak is very good. He's just not the moment kind of guy, right? That's what happens in the playoffs with the Cowboys. The moment gets too big for Dak. Regular season, he's fine, and he's very talented. But when the moment is bright, and you're in the NFC quarterfinals or divisional round, I guess, per se, and you got to lead the game-winning drive, he's just not going to do it.
Yeah. We're just like, we're like a bottom shelf Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, this guy Will Levis is something else, and I had to eat my crow because I really thought last year was like, oh, he's the guy, he's great. It took 1 year of film to expose him, and he literally, there's 3 memes of him. He might have the 3 greatest NFL memes ever made of all time. The Chicago pick where he put his hands on his helmet.
Yeah, over his head.
That's a great meme. There was one. What was he did in game number 2? What did he do? There was something. But the third one, I can't remember what he did. The second meme is, but I do remember the third meme is he got sacked. Oh, I know what the second meme was when he threw the interception against the Jets, or the push fumble, or whatever the hell he tried to do. That's a great meme. And then the strip sack versus the Packers, where Buddy's nuts were on his head. So he's making great memes, not playing great ball. He just, I mean, honestly, if you look at his yards aren't bad. He just makes really dumb decisions.
So you think do they keep starting? Do they keep starting Levis?
Unfortunately, yes, because the head coach came out and said that Will Levis is still the guy. Even though I'm not saying Mason Rudolph was a world beater because he wasn't, but he managed the game perfectly. He did not make the crucial big mistake. And you don't have to be a superstar quarterback with the way that team is constructed right now. You just don't because of how well they play defensively. You just got to manage the ball, protect the ball from 20 to 20, right? Kick some field goals. Eventually, you're going to score a touchdown like they did, and let your defense play.
You don't think Will Levis figures it out at all?
No, I don't. I don't. I think. I mean, last year he was so much better than he is this year, and I mean, they're not going to fire that head coach after one season. I don't. I don't think he fits the system. I just don't. I think well, my pipe dream's dead now because they're not going to lose every game and get Quinn Ewers from Texas, but they're going to have to go quarterback shopping, and maybe Dak is the guy they go after. I've seen that rumor.
Dallas Titans can't afford Dak.
Yeah, they can.
$60 million. You know, Dak's the highest paid quarterback.
Well, I mean, he resigned with the Cowboys anyway.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way.
The talk was.
You talking about
I was saying
the
talk was in the offseason. If he hit the market, the Titans could afford him.
Yeah, yes. I got you.
I forgot he re-signed. Yeah, but the Titans could. If he hit the market, the Titans were in the ballpark.
I was about to say
because the Titans still have a shit ton of cap space.
Yeah, because they got the big cap hit position at quarterback. They're playing the guy basically rookie contract, and their backup is he's not still a rookie contract, but it's not
pennies.
It's not a good one.
He's pennies on the dollar.
Yeah,
he's pennies on the dollar. Yeah.
Because Dak is,
but you know, he is a good backup. I mean, he is a good backup. I'm not gonna say I like Mason Rudolph. Yeah, I mean, he took the Steelers to the playoffs last year. You know why? Because the Steelers have great defense. He just managed the game and protected the football. That's all that has to be done right now. If Will Levis can protect the football better, I mean, I think they're too big of a hole now. I mean, they're 1-3. I mean, there's 17 games, so there's a lot of season to go, right? I mean, they were 2-4 the year Ryan Tannehill took over Marcus Mariota job, and you know they went on that run and made all the way to the AFC Championship. So anything's possible, but they're not going to go anywhere if he can't stop throwing the ball to the other team. It's just impossible. Their defense is good enough to win them games, obviously.
You know what the biggest problem is? And I have fought people on this that disagree. I think the reason why Will Levis is struggling is because the run game isn't a big point of emphasis when you're game planning against the Titans anymore.
Correct. And I don't that's a fair point. I'm not going to disagree with it. That's a fair point, but they do got two good backs. Tony Pollard runs the ball really well, man. I mean, hell, that was their whole offense versus Miami was running the ball. I mean,
well, Miami historically has never been able to stop the run anyway, but
you know what I'm saying. But, and of course, I mean, you move on from Derrick Henry. Well, duh, right? No one's going to stack the box because there's no threat of Derrick Henry left, Derrick Henry right, Derrick Henry up the middle. That threat's gone.
Yeah,
but they still run the ball pretty decently. But I mean, I that's a fair point to make. But then again, what's the rest of the league, Finis? If you want to be a top dog quarterback like you act like you are, you're going to have to throw in the double coverage. Yeah. You're going to have to drop the ball in the triple coverage somewhere. You're going to have to drop the ball in the double coverage with the safety help over the top. That's where, or if you can't do that, you got to be able to make your reads extremely fast and quick, like, Pat Mahomes. Joe Burrow is very good at making his reads extremely fast. You got to be at that caliber of intelligence behind the center there, and snap throw. Snap. He holds the ball forever.
I think
And their offensive line's not the greatest, so he really needs to get the ball out quick.
He needs to Tom Brady it. Like, he needs to boring football it. Like, if your reads aren't there, just throw the check down, get the little 3, 4, 5 yards, and then just keep it pushing.
Yep.
I think it
or throw the ball away.
Yeah, it almost seems like he's trying to do too much to where he makes crucial mistakes. Just like old school, like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
Yep.
Snap, your initial read there, not there. Check down. It's at least positive yards.
That I totally agree. I mean, I've been screaming at it, but he's still, and see, what's disheartening is the coach they have now, that's his offense. That's how he taught Joe Burrow. It's first read, second read, nothing there, throw it away, dump it down. You don't go for the shot. If it's not there, don't take it. Dump. Throw it away. I mean, it's sad that I don't like to see players get hurt. That's not what I'm saying, but like, I perked up when he got hurt, as bad as that sounds. Like, I was like, oh shit, they might have a chance.
Levis?
Yeah. They might have a chance because he literally threw a pick on the first fucking drive. Right to the guy.
I saw.
Right to him. I mean, threw it right to him. He was just standing.
I turned the game off as soon as that happened. I was like, all right, let's do it. As soon as he threw the pick, I was like, all right, I'm done. And then I think I ended up turning it back on at like after third quarter. Once I saw it was still a pretty close game. But I was like, yeah, I'm not watching.
And see, that's what Rudolph did. I know you didn't get to see it that much, but that's what he did. He just dumped. If his main read was there, he just dumped the ball down. And with the way their defense is playing currently, that's all their offense needs to be. They don't need to hit chunks. Just drive the ball 20-20. If you got to kick a field goal, kick the field goal. And if you find the end zone, you find the end zone. But because your defense plays so damn well, they're going to stop that. The other team's offense more. Stop that. They're the number one defense rated against the pass. This is a passing league.
Right. Stay on the field.
They're going to stop those offenses more times than not.
Titans offense mindset needs to be stay on the field.
Correct.
Just stay on the field. If you got number one defense.
Right. Drive the ball 20-20.
Stay on the field.
Drive it 20-20. And if you can't drive it 20-20, try to get around midfield. Try to get to about the 45. Pin the other team deep because your defense, for one, is going to keep them down there. And then you play field position battle. I need to apologize. I need to apologize to Devondre Sweat. I knew he was good. I didn't like where they picked him because I thought, until they obviously made the moves they did, I thought they probably needed another receiver to go with the older heads, but they didn't do that. I need to apologize to Devondre Sweat. He was an excellent pick. This guy, he's damn near unblockable, man. He is unbelievable.
Bro, Titans are second and third down, defensive third down percentage.
Yes.
So they.
That's what
Bro,
that's what I'm saying.
They're getting stopped.
You don't have to take the shots. You don't have to take the shots. That's what I'm saying. You can dunk. Dean can dunk like they did Monday night, kick some field goals, and eventually they found the end zone a couple times. What was the final fucking score? 31-12.
Yeah. They won by double.
Tyreek Hill, L'Jarius Sneed clamped his ass. He did nothing. Now, granted, I know third string quarterback, but Huntley's no scrub. He was good with the Ravens. He was Lamar's backup for the longest, and he did pretty good. Hell, he made a Pro Bowl one year. Lamar was hurt.
Yeah.
So he's not a scrub.
Right. He's not some pushover.
Their secondary literally clamped Waddle and clamped him up.
I know. I have Hill and Waddle on my fantasy team, and not go so well.
Yeah, it was clamps.
Not go well at all.
I mean, they literally, I think Miami went for it 3 times on fourth down and short, like 4th and 2 and in. 2 of them were 4th and 1s. I know that. And they tried to run outside, and they lost 3 yards every time. Didn't even come close to getting the first down. We're talking a yard. Sweat blew it up. or they had Quandre Diggs come flying in, Jamal Adams come flying in. Their defense is very good. It's just it's going to be wasted because their quarterback play is so putrid. And I know Mitchell was like, "Oh, how do you watch this?" I said, "Well, this is my kind of style of ball right here. I don't give a shit. I don't need
How
500
long has
yard
Simmons
pass."
been out?
Simmons?
Yeah, how long has he been out?
Be honest with you, I didn't even know he got hurt.
Yeah, he didn't play last
I
game.
didn't even know he was on
He's
the
on
field versus
sideline.
Miami, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was on the sideline in street clothes. So like
I
our
guess he got
defense,
hurt. I guess he got hurt versus Green Bay. I think it was Green Bay. I think he got hurt versus the
because if you think about it, our defense is gonna get better once he's back. It's about to get crazy, bro.
You know what was even worse? It's even more of an indictment on Will Levis. Hold on, I'm about to sneak. Is he got outplayed by Malik Willis in Green Bay? Malik Willis outplayed him. The guy they cut, they traded away, outplayed his ass. Not good, bro.
What's Treylon Burks doing?
Nothing. Being a bust. The worst trade in franchise history.
Bro, if they could get the ball to Calvin Ridley a little more in open field, he's always
he's got
one person away. He's like always one person away.
He's got some burners. He's got juice, man. He's got the juice.
Bro,
his
change of direction, bro, is crazy.
Yes. And he can accelerate like you used to accelerate. Almost stop and go shit.
Yeah.
He caught one. I went to that preseason game and he caught one. Maybe a 5-yard pass. And he turned it into 30. I mean, he just boom, got just quick stop and go, gone. And you know, as a track guy and a quick twitch guy like you are, if you got that kind, you got the juice, and it's just stop and go. You can accelerate, dude. It's hard to stop.
Yeah.
Problem is, you're right. I mean, they have a quarterback who can't get the ball to him.
What's his name? He's got Tommy John injury, ligament injury. Jeffrey Simmons.
Oh, he'll be back. I mean, that's such a baseball injury that won't affect him too much in football. They put a brace on him, and he'll be all right. I bet he plays. Well, I guess they're on a bye this week, actually.
Yeah, so he might play next game then because he's gonna get 2 weeks to rest, basically.
Yeah, I think he'll play. Nah, man, but the defense is gonna be wasted. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Or here's my prediction. They start Will next game. He shits the bed again, and that's the final straw. They put Mason Rudolph in, and they lose the game. So now they're 1-5, and they're just too big, or 1-4. Sorry, just too big of a hole to get out of. Even though their division, I don't know if you've seen the AFC South. It is god awful.
Yeah,
putrid, disgusting. Even the Texans. I've watched the Texans, and I'm just like, for having all that talent on paper, they look very beatable.
The Texans?
Beatable. Yes. I mean, the Jags should have beat them.
Yeah.
It was a last-second touchdown, remember? The Jags should have beat them in Houston. And the Jags got beat by the Bills 47-10. Okay?
Yeah, it's a lot of weird football being played this year. Like, nobody, to me, even the Chiefs, Chiefs are still undefeated. I think the Vikings are still undefeated, but at some point,
the Chiefs have not looked good.
That's what I'm like. They're not they're winning. They're not dominating. There's not a team that I would put in that top tier that has separated themselves. Like the 49ers last year, they were in that tier, right?
Oh yeah.
The Miami Dolphins at one point was in that tier, then they kind of didn't do so. They kind of came back down. But nobody's really playing top tier.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one that's really impressed me.
Bills?
And it's impressed me. No, Minnesota Vikings. They're doing this. They're doing this with a backup. With a backup quarterback.
Was
backup
Sam
quarterback,
Darnold, right? Sam, who's the starter? Who's the normal starter?
They're undefeated.
Yeah, but
it was supposed to be JJ McCarthy.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta see one more solid game for them to put. They're like, if this is the line to be in that tier, that's like, you know, like top of the line dominant football. They're like right there for me. They're right on the cusp. I gotta see one more game, a one more
Yeah.
dominant game for them to put them in that tier, even though they're undefeated. But like the Chiefs, like you said, they've been winning, but they're bare like that. The Chargers game, they're barely scraping by each game they played.
Yeah.
Which I mean, they're finding
And
ways to
Pat,
win, which is not it's not a bad thing necessarily, but I feel like
and Pat's turned the ball. Pat's turned the ball over a lot more than he has in the past, man.
yeah,
I mean, I think he only has 6 touchdowns, and he has like 5 picks so far this year.
yeah,
But see, here's the thing. And I'm not saying Pat's bad. Like, he's great. I mean, he's one of the Hall of Fame, first ballot, and on the trajectory of being the best to ever do it at that position. Okay, yeah, I said it as a Tom Brady stan, but I don't know what's going on there because he has not, and he's missed throws that he routinely hits. I don't know, and then maybe Travis has the Taylor Swift curse, the Kardashian curse. Maybe we got the Swift curse going on.
we'll see. Because with the Chiefs, I have to wait till like the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season. Because if you remember last year, they started off pretty
Oh,
rough
they
last
can
year.
turn it on. They can turn it on
Yeah,
when they
so
want to
this
turn it
is
on.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're saying this, but it was the same talk last year, like
Yep.
especially because, and then not even because was the last year the first year without Hill, or was it the year before
With who?
without Tyreek Hill? That 2 years ago. Was his first season without him?
2 years. Yeah.
Because they won back to back,
That
right?
was
They
the
won.
year. That was, I think, the first. No, it was the year. Yeah, 2 years ago, because it was the year after the Titans blew their Super Bowl year. That's
Okay,
right, because they
and
played the Chiefs and dominated them, and Tyreek Hill was on that roster. I
and
vividly
and
remember that.
so if I remember correctly, they won that year, and they just won last year, right? They went back to back, right?
Yes, they're looking to be the first. I don't know if there's ever been a team in NFL history.
The
You
three
probably have
peat.
to research that.
I don't think
That's
there has.
three-peated. I think they're trying to be the first in NFL history to three-peat. I
So
think, or it's the first time in like probably since like the forever, right?
yeah. So okay, just make sure my math was right because my point is ever since
Yes.
Tyreek has left, they've started their season off kind of rough from an offensive standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the halfway point, that's when they click, they go on to win it. And then this past year, because I think Juju Smith-Schuster leaves or whatever. Did he leave? I think their top
He
receiver,
did, but he's back.
he came
Well,
back. But like last year,
Rashid Rice got hurt Sunday. Yes, that's their top guy.
yeah. So I remember after after Ty, what's the big thing is how are they going to get done? They don't have his go-to guy anymore. He's still Travis, but they don't have his like because they consider Tyreek Hill his what's his
They
called
said they were thinking Tyreek made Patrick, right? Because Tyreek was
right.
so good at getting open and so fast.
He
Such
was
an
his
explosive player.
what do they call him? His like not scapegoat, but whenever he's in a pinch, he just
And
throws it
he just chucked the ball up, and Tyreek would go
right.
get it. Yes.
So people are like, where are they going to come from? And so, like we saw, it was rough from a receiver standpoint, but they're doing it by committee. And even last year, they started off rough, saying the same thing. Oh, Tyreek isn't there, even though they just won. Tyreek is not there. I think somebody had left one of their top receivers. I think it was Juju Smith-Schuster. I know he's back now, but whatever somebody was gone. So how is he going to do it now? Yada yada yada. They win it again. So we're having the same conversation now, and that's why for me, you know what? Let me wait because
Right.
historically, it's taken them some time to figure it out. But it does look they're this season they're struggling a lot more than they did the previous two. It wasn't this bad of a
It
struggle.
looks worse, and I think some of his play has been worse. Like I said, he's 6 touchdowns to 5 picks.
Right. He's
That's
done
very
better than that.
that's very
Characteristic.
un-Mahomey of him. That's
Yeah.
very unlike Mahomes.
Yeah. Well,
So they're turning the ball over. at a high clip. They're not moving the ball very well. They're not. I don't think they really have much of a run game either. So that's probably part of it. But
Yeah, Pacheco's been hurt.
because Pacheco's been hurt. Well, see, here's the thing: Pacheco's out. Pacheco's been out, so he's hurt, and now Rashid Rice is hurt. So a lot of their top guys are not playing too. So you know. But anyways,
well,
wrap this one up. Go watch some football.
Yeah, this has been literally just straight sports talk.
That's okay. Hey man, that's why we're a podcast for everything. Whatever the subject is that day, we talk about it.
Yeah,
we can talk about astronomy one day, and then it could be all football. We could talk comics. We literally can talk anything.
Yeah,
we can get on serious shit and talk lifestyle and you know, just on serious levels.
I might start bringing notes because I know we just do this. For people that don't know, we do this unscripted. We really just show up and just start talking about shit. I might bring some notes because I kind of want to get into some like not.
But I think that's what.
Not politics.
I think that's what makes our show so great, though.
Well, yeah. No, I'm just saying I want to bring notes because
we're just so genuine, us, you know.
I want to get into some not politics but political topics. I kind of want to talk on some stuff because I'm interested to see what do y'all think on certain things, but not like politics themselves, but like political topics, like the public school education system. Like, what do you guys think? Because that's just a political topic, which is crazy. But alrighty, Mark, we'll wrap this bad boy up because Thursday night's football is about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
I'm gonna chase my